It's all about falling in love with the work. It's not always about the end result. It's not always about the production, but you have to enjoy the process up to it. And if you don't enjoy the actual work, then it's hard to really be consistent in something. What is up, artists and movers? Welcome back to another video here on my channel, and more specifically, welcome to another dance entrepreneur tips, where I share some things that I'm learning on this little entrepreneurial journey of mine. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about being consistent. I've noticed it's something that people find very difficult, and that is because it is difficult, okay? It is very hard. But in this video, I'm going to break down 7 different tips for how you can be a little bit more consistent on your journey, whether if it's in YouTube, in dance, or whatever it is that you're working on. So let's just jump into this video. My first tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to create an environment where consistency is easy. So for example, if you want to be consistent with drinking more water, a simple way to do that is make sure that by your nightstand you always keep a glass of water. So for me, before I go to bed, I make sure that my glass next to my bed is filled so that in the morning the first thing I can do is drink water. It's something that I've done to be able to alter my environment that makes me being consistent with drinking my water easier. The same goes for anything else that you're looking to do on a consistent basis. If you are looking to create more YouTube videos, then maybe decide one day a week that is going to be your recording day, and so on that day you don't plan anything else. That way you've made it easier for you to have all of this time on that day just to record your YouTube video or just to come up with choreography. Having an environment that is conducive to consistency will make it a whole lot easier on you to actually stay consistent. My second tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to create a body that is capable of consistency. So it's very hard, for example, to say that you're going to go for a run every single day if your body does not have the stamina to withhold you going running every single day. Your body's physical preparedness plays a huge role in you being able to show up on a consistent basis in whatever it is that you're doing. So that's why I think it's totally important for you to just create a fitness routine of some sort that is good for you. You don't necessarily have to have dreams of like having a certain kind of body, but just making sure the body that you do have is able to fulfill all of the things that you want to be able to accomplish. So that is why I have various workout videos here on my channel. They're not necessarily to help you reach these fitness goals, but it's just for you to maintain an upper level of bodily preparedness so that whatever it is that you want to do, whether if it includes dancing or YouTube or speaking events or whatever it is, that you have the stamina and the physical ability to be able to do those things consistently. My third tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to surround yourself with like-minded people who are also focused on being consistent with something. So that is why I created the More Than Dance Club, because I wanted a community for dancers who are dedicated to going outside of themselves, creating a more impactful life, doing more fulfilling work, and to have a place where they can feel like they have some sort of accountability and community with other dancers who are also like-minded. So it's sometimes very hard to find those spaces, and that's why I created one myself. If you do want to be a part of the More Than Dance Club, I'll have it linked in the description box below. But in general, just find friends or people who are also focused on being consistent in whatever it is that they are working on. It's going to help give you a place where you can express some difficulties that you're having on this road to becoming consistent, and it's also a place where people will understand how big your wins are because they'll know how hard it is to be consistent at something. So finding your community and like-minded people is definitely a really important part of staying consistent. My fourth tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to write it down. Write it down, whatever it is that you're looking to try to achieve. Be sure to create a place, whether if it's journaling or on a schedule, where you see that thing written and you see the date at which you want to complete it. For me, I like to use this. This is what I use, and I write down the things that I want to get accomplished within that week so that by Saturday and Sunday, I have all of the things completed and I can really enjoy my weekend. And that way I'm also optimizing that I have the time within the week. So writing it down, it's just something about putting pen to paper. People always say this, but it's really, really true. When you see it written, it becomes a tangible goal, and when you get to cross that thing off. My fifth tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to track your progress. And this is something that I've been doing from the beginning of my YouTube journey. I have been tracking the amount of subscribers that I've had on my journey because it feels good. It feels good to see progress being made, to see that you're accomplishing something, and it gives you more fuel to stay consistent, and it gives you a reason why you should stay consistent. And so I have actually started more recently in my actual YouTube videos. In the description box, you can look and see what number of subscribers I had when I uploaded that video, so that for me, when I go back and watch them, I can think to myself, wow, like when I made this video, I had 600 subscribers, and now I have 800 subscribers. And it's just cool to watch that progress, and it gives you a sense of encouragement, and it helps you gain trust within yourself. One of the reasons why a lot of people are hesitant to become consistent is simply because they don't trust themselves to follow through. But when you're able to track your progress and see, oh yeah, I did show up every time I said I was going to, it gives you a little bit more trust in yourself. And it gives you a sense of safety to know that you can trust yourself to carry out whatever it is that you say you want to do, which is honestly one of the best feelings in the world. My sixth tip for staying consistent and maintaining self-discipline is to find ways that you can be consistent in your messaging when it's not necessarily possible for you to be consistent in the action all the time. So for example, before the pandemic hit, I told myself that I was going to teach one dance class every single month. And for 3 months, I was able to do that until the pandemic hit and the dance studios closed down. So was I going to allow myself to just give up on that idea of consistency? No. I decided that I would continue to show up consistently on my YouTube channel, and I would consistently create spaces for other dancers who want to do more than just dance in a way that allows me to show up still consistently in the same realm, in the same general niche of things, but not exactly doing what it was I was doing before. And the main thing that it's important to maintain is to make sure that the messaging is the same and that the messaging is consistent. So if I, for example, have someone who really believes that it's important for dancers to hone all of their skill sets and to make an impact on others, it may not necessarily matter if that is through a dance class or through a YouTube video. It just matters that my messaging and what I'm saying I stand for is consistent, and that builds trust with your audience. So sometimes it's just about showing up in general. It may not be showing up doing the exact same thing, but showing that you are dedicated to putting something out there, to putting content out there, to showing up for your audience. All that builds trust from your audience. And whether if it's in this form of a dance class or in the form of a YouTube video, sometimes for some people it doesn't necessarily matter. It just shows that you care in general, and people buy into that. And my seventh and final tip is to make sure that you're not only passionate about the end product of what it is that you're trying to be consistent in, that you're also passionate about the work. In a recent interview with Dakota Adon and Ali Christensen on the Beyond the Point podcast, which I highly recommend if you are a dancer. She has a great podcast, and she has a really good perspective on dance and improving dance performance. But Dakota talks about how one of the biggest pieces of advice that he got was from a mentor who said, it's all about falling in love with the work. And I totally resonate with that, because it is. It's not always about the end result. It's not always about the production, but you have to enjoy the process up to it. And if you don't enjoy the actual work, then it's hard to really be consistent in something. If I didn't enjoy editing videos and recording myself to some extent, then it would be hard for me to put out videos on a consistent basis, but it is something that I enjoy. And so then it's easier for me to be consistent in doing this than it would be for me to, learn historical events every week. I hate history. I don't like history. But I just say that to say that being passionate about the work is probably the most important thing you can do to help you be more consistent and more self-disciplined in whatever it is that you're looking to do. And that is it, you guys. those are my 7 tips for staying consistent and being more self-disciplined. And I hope that in general it just helped you get a grasp on some tangible ways that you can be more consistent, but also on some mindset shifts that you may need to make in order to stay consistent, whether if it's in YouTube or in dance or whatever it is that you're pursuing. It's definitely possible for you to be consistent, but it's all about creating an environment where that consistency is possible and then having the right motivations behind that consistency. If you guys did find this video helpful, then please be sure to give it a like. And if you want to become a part of my dance fam, then go ahead and subscribe. I have a whole dance entrepreneur playlist, and I have some dance tips and my choreographies up here, all kinds of dance stuff. I love to dance over here. So if you do join, then I will see you guys in my next video next weekend. Later.